Okay, everyone. Hello and good afternoon, and thank you for watching my video. Now, this is Word Up Video, and I'm going to be bringing some important points to you about being in an open relationship when you have a significant other, okay, and what it means to be in a open relationship. I think this is going to be a strong point for some of you couples who feel that you're not being fulfilled in areas that you particularly want to venture off and maybe date someone else or find out what it's like to be in a open relationship. Okay, but first and foremost, before I proceed with this, I just want to say a little prayer. Now, Heavenly Father, I call upon the angels in Christ Jesus to lead and guide me, to direct my voice to be heard to those who are in need of understanding what an open relationship is. Lord, I ask that you take control of this information so it can be delivered in the right way. In Jesus' almighty name, amen. Okay, so now we are going to be, as I said, I'm going to be looking at some areas regarding open relationship when you're a couple or when you're married coupled or when you're in a partnership where as you are together. Okay, now the first thing I want to just point out, this is another issue that experts have determined about relationships. But first, I'm going to share with you some of the information that I researched and did studies on according to what was said by the experts. Okay. Now, number one, the point is what is a open relationship? I know some of you are just wanting to know what that means, just in case you might have the information all mixed up and twisted. This is what it means. When you're in an open relationship, that means both partners are exclusively not dating each other. Okay, you're not really dating each other anymore. Okay, but you are partners, and most of the time, when you get in an open relationship, it could be because you're not happy like you was when you first got married or something like that, and you want to stay in a committed relationship, you want to stay married because maybe you have children and some people say vows until death do them part, and they stick to it, But like I said in my other videos, it's not really wise to stay in an unhealthy relationship. Okay, unhealthy and toxic relationships is not going to benefit you or your successful life if that is your choice. Now, moving on, I am today focusing on this open relationship because it's important for everyone to understand how people get into these relationships thinking that they are ready, okay? Specifically couples or married couples or partners per se, okay? Now, as I said, exclusively, they are not dating, okay? This is in other words two peoples who allow both men and women, the man and the woman, to have other partners, okay? And that most time is to satisfy their needs, okay? I don't suggest this for couple relationship, but sometimes, as experts say, an open relationship can be healthy and satisfying. Can be a satisfying relationship. in a marriage or couple. I don't suggest this now because I'll tell you why as I go on down my list, the reason why. I don't suggest it because there are areas and things that you have to prepare yourself for, and the both of you have to agree to be involved in such open relationship. Okay? And if there's no agreement, then, this relationship, an open relationship, is not going anywhere. It wouldn't go anywhere because I look at it like if you continue to be not communicating with your significant other, then things happen unexpectedly and someone can get hurt in that relationship. So this is the reason why I say, talk it out with your partner, talk it out as a couple, and try to come to some kind of understanding and agreement, okay, as to boundaries and things that one would don't suggest that the other person, the other partner do, and getting in another relationship with someone else because they are open and they are supposed to be the primary. When I say primary is the main individual who's in a relationship. So don't get it twisted, in other words, about a open relationship. When you're married or you share a home as a couple, partnership, anything, do not get it twisted of what a open relationship is all about, okay? Because you may have deep feelings for somebody, and you care for a whole lot, and it could be one-sided. One of the partners want to be in an open relationship, and the other one just does not necessarily see eye to eye, and this can be a bothersome, and it can create some type of confusion in trying to create a open relationship between you and your partner, your primary partner, okay? All right. Okay, so as I stated before, this is similar to soulmates, but this is slightly different from having, different soulmates to fulfill, areas in your life. And that part of it is created by God, and only God can do that. Okay, but those are not in the same areas. Those are different areas. Somebody could be there to assist you with, building your house. Somebody can be there for a lot of reasons, numerous of reasons that God placed peoples in your life as soulmates. But as I said before in the other video, there is one particular soulmate that is made strictly for you and only for you, and you will know that. So if you're not married to that soulmate and you're married to one of your soulmates, there could possibly still be some concerns to take note of, okay? All right, so let's move on here. Okay. Let's move on to what open relationships do and with married couples, as well as, like I said, partnership couples who are living together and they are in some kind of committed relationship per se. Okay, I'll leave it there because I don't want to get too deep and confuse nobody as to what I mean when you are getting into an open relationship. But just note this, most of the time it is married couples who decide to be in an open relationship because things are a little bit more serious and it's a little bit more vows you say when you become as one. So let's move on. A relationship with someone, that could be open relationship, could be a relationship with someone romantically, someone, or just a person you care about for as a lover, So this is sometime what couples and married couples or partners agree on, okay? All right. I know you may think, hey, this is an area that you don't really want to consider yourself a part of, but just listen up. Listen to what I'm going to say about it. This is to be said. Even if you're not in that type of relationship, it's always good to know a little bit something about it, just in case you decide that, someone may be considering having an open relationship. So this might relate to them as far as that. But, I don't recommend it myself, but these are just some of the pointers that I'm trying to get you to understand is out there for you to know what some of the possibilities of things, of the unexpected could happen. Okay, now this isn't something, like I said, this is not something that I would recommend or would agree on, but it's something, sometimes it prevents marriages from splitting up or breaking up if they can come together and agree to, have an open relationship instead of, breaking up, separating from each other, and not be operating as a true family. It could be some sense of confusion too there, whereas the one person want to experience, a different relationship that maybe they never had. Maybe they were made it up early in life and just decide that hey, we got these kids, don't want to get a divorce, but we want to have open relationship. Sometime in an open relationship, partners, they live in different houses, okay? Don't mean that they don't care for each other, but it's just their preference. Now, if that's your preference and the two of you can agree on that, then I think that you'll be better off reaching some kind of agreement. And if these things does not work in your life, then you know what you should do, okay? Okay, get out of it if it's not for you. Get out of it, move on. Just come to some understanding about, if you're still raising children, that you both are going to be a part of the kid's life. Try to get some understanding and come to an agreement. Either way, come to some kind of agreement that you are going to both parent your kids. Okay? All right. Okay. So I need not explain how to do that, because I'm sure most of you people that are sharing the responsibility of a child or your children, and you're staying in different households, but you don't have a problem with, help taking care of your kids. Both parties, they're contributing to that, relationship of taking care of the kids, even though they both went in different directions with their personal lives, and possibly found somebody else, or however the scenario go. But this situation, being in an open relationship, it prevents marriages from splitting up or breaking up, okay? This is similar to a type of counseling that you can get before breaking up or separating. Some people prefer trying something different before that option comes up, Okay. So if that's your preference, then by all means, do you, okay? Do you, and along the way, ask God, if, you're not doing the right thing, then may he lead and guide you or forgive you for whatever you're doing that is wrong, okay? So that's how we end that. But I'll move on to, there is a few reasons I don't personally recommend being in an open relationship. Okay, because you have to be able to communicate with your partner. And your partner really needs to understand this. And if it's going to be difficult for you to communicate with your partner, then this isn't going to work for, couples. Okay, this isn't going to work for married couples or partners. This isn't going to work. So I'll point out more reasons why I said it wouldn't work. But let me move on with this. Communication, you have to be open about everything, and be willing to share everything with your partner. This could be a risk of being hurt, multiple times. If you're not ready for the unexpected, then don't suggest it. Don't get into it. Don't get in an open relationship if you're gonna involve your feelings in this, because it can hurt you. It can hurt you and become a toxic open relationship for the significant other that's your primary mate. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to share a few more areas with you as best as I can. And I'm not going to try to keep you too long, but let me move on to the next reason. Even if our most trusting relationship, we often hide information from our partners. Now, some of us often hide information from our partners because we're scared to put our trust fully in them, okay? So if that is your feeling, then, maybe you should hold on or refrain from getting in this open relationship and possibly seek other counseling or other how can I say, reconciliation efforts to come to an agreement in your home before divorcing or separating or splitting. Okay, so but let me move on to a little bit more information. I hope you guys are following me out there, but this is something that you should know before you decide to be in an open relationship. Okay, this is why setting grounds and rules help. This it help you before going into an open relationship. Just set some ground rules. Let your partner know, hey, I don't want you going out there getting too serious about a male. Because I am your partner. I don't want you going out there sleeping with the other person, with the male, female, or whoever it is. It's agreement between two peoples, a man and a woman. Okay? I don't want you going out there falling in love is another error. Falling in love with someone that isn't your primary partner. Don't get yourself out there and fall in love with somebody, somebody else, because that's a way of sufficient a breakup, possibly break up. You don't want to break up, so you're hoping that you can be totally honest with your primary partner before you get into an open relationship. And if you're not ready for that, then this is not the relationship to consider doing, So be careful what you ask for. Just be careful what you ask for and be aware, okay? Because this is word up, and I'm going to give you the feedback of what you should be careful of and what are some of the areas that you should know pertaining to the subject, open relationships, okay? Okay, now you should decide to be completely truthful about everything. Again, I'm telling you, couple, be truthful about everything that's in your relationship by communicate. Everything is, I'm not talking about everything. I'm just talking about when you involving yourself in, in another relationship and you're being open with your primary partner. I'm talking about when you get into other relationship. This is the what I'm saying you should communicate with each other on. It's best to communicate and be upfront with the person. And if you can't do this, then this is not the relationship you should consider going in, being in. Okay, there are some keys, some key points I want to just mention. Okay, to have a successful foundation. Okay, relationships like I'll just point out the key of a successful relationship is having the foundation. Okay? Having the foundation. Okay? In an open relationship, there is some tips of building a strong, healthy, binding relationship together as a couple. But you have to have trust and communication with the other person. It might not be a relationship, intimacy relationship, what they want to, have encounter with someone else. It might be just simple date nights, going out, or a movie nights, or it might be simple stuff. So don't overexert yourself by thinking out of the box. And if this is something area you think you're going to be doing, going out of the box and getting a little romantically, and you should consider informing your partner, your primary partner, about that, because you don't want to the other partner to find out that you are romantically with this other person, and they're getting less and less attention when it comes to certain areas in their life, and they have specifically asked you or disapproved that you do those things. Then take heed in that and listen and try to work it out, and be together in this to build a strong and successful and long-lasting household relationship. Okay. Most of the time, I hate to put this out on the table for you, but most of the time, you men cannot handle being in an open relationship, okay? You cannot handle and being in an open relationship, okay? All right. And I'll tell you why. See, sometimes, ladies, listen up, okay? And the men's too. Sometimes a man may love the idea of open relationship, but experts say that the idea of sleeping with multiple women while still being in a loving relationship, this is a trick. All the boxes of a good life is there, so say you think it's there, but it's a trick, okay? So I'll move on and give you more information why it tends to be a trap sometime. Okay, listen up, keep listening. However, experts also say there is one downside for a man in an open relationship. And men, I hate to put that out for you, but you know what I'm talking about. Please don't get mad with me. But this is points that should be brought up that you need to understand as well as the woman. Okay? Your downfalls is quickly, it can quickly become apparent. It's the pros and the cons, like if a man is sleeping with multiple women, then most likely she could be sleeping with multiple men as well. Are you in agreement with your woman, with your primary partner that you build the life with and might have had kids? Are you in agreement to allow her to sleep with multiple women? I mean, not multiple women. Let me rephrase that: multiple men. Just as you would, hopefully, we suggest multiple men will sleep with multiple women, and multiple women will sleep with multiple men. This is what I actually meant. Okay, so excuse me, but moving on from that, next. Now, this situation doesn't come from a place of understanding. Okay, this is called a double standard. You know how a person say, well, if you can do this, I can do this. That's called double standards. Okay, double standards or discrimination, however you want to say or put it, but I'm going to use the phrase double standards, okay? If a man can't do it, then all power to the woman. Okay, then this power will reverse into the woman's hand. Okay, what it comes down to is basic understanding before somebody gets hurt. It's just the basic understanding. And that's not hard to get some understanding and learn, how to communicate with your partner. Even if this this open relationship don't work, you can always come out of it if you feel the two of you have reached some kind of love communication and you just can't handle your significant primary partner getting involved with another person outside of your home. Then you can always come out of that as a couple. You could seek counseling in order to stay together. But if it just does not work and it becomes a toxic situation, then my answer for that. Get out of it, leave it alone. You can become co-parents with your children if you do have children that you're still raising in the home. Okay, that's my solution. Okay? All right. So be careful what you allow yourself to get into out of a open relationship. Honestly speaking, you shouldn't get into an open relationship with feelings of resentment, or if you surely is the type of person that get boiled up into, a two ending one way or another. You should really understand and know what you're getting into before you open those doors, per se. Okay? Before you open the doors. See, many people open doors and regret that they have done that. But, you might want to think on that before doing it. Okay? Being in one relationship is hard to work. Being in one relationship, sometimes for a man, some women out there, we tend to be a little bit more loyal to in some categories sometimes than a man might be. But moving on, being in one relationship is hard to work, and it taking a lot of time. That takes a lot of time out of your daily routine when you have one relationship and you're trying to satisfy and please or adore your primary partner, just as it should be. But like I said, in some cases, the other partner looks and want to have multiple relationships or have a open relationship with their partners. So this is vice versa, It would take being in two relationships. Sometimes that would drain you. If you're going to try to please the primary woman and the primary woman trying to please you and be in another relationship and you try to please her and be in another relationship, it drains you. It takes a lot out of you. Sometimes you need to wait and think about that before you attempt to try to go and get yourself tied up in another relationship. Do you have the time to do that? Is it relevant for you to make a choice to have other partners than just one or two? Is it relevant for you to just keep the one you with and just go with the flow and thank God that you got one that you can hold on to? It's possible for the rest of your life. But you have to make it work, okay? You have to have some type of communication to make things work out for you. And relationship period, open relationship and a relationship period. So sometimes there's demands when you are with the other partner and not your primary partner. They could set out some demands. This is what I was talking about in my other video. Just be careful who you're opening that door for, and make sure it's not a psychopath. You're getting involved with, or somebody that have some psychological problems of, being able to cope with a relationship per se that's not involving them, okay? Or that is involving them, but they're not wanting to see you in the midst of a romantic relationship with someone else, okay? All right, moving on. So ask yourself, do you really have the time for multiple relationships? Do you really have the time for that? But to be upfront with your partner, that's the most important concern you should have on your mind. Because if you're not thinking on those guidelines, things can go wrong, and fall back on, you fall back and be looking for help, because someone could possibly get hurt. Okay. Okay, so some couples are tempted to experience open relationship because it is a sense of freedom. Okay, if you're looking to have a sense of freedom, well, yes and no, because that's your feeling. That's what you want to create, a sense of freedom. Okay, so let's move on. But you'll soon find out that you won't feel very free when the person you truly love is feeling hurt. So you'll soon find out about that, because it's not totally freedom. Okay, so don't get in your head that, hey, I'm free. This is freedom. I do whatever I want. Come in, do whatever. Come in whenever I want. Don't totally feel so subjected to being so free, Okay, and you might become jealous of the other individual. You could possibly become jealous by telling yourself, is this a good idea? Okay, is this a good idea? Before long, you might find yourself being really jealous of the person that's your partner, that's your primary, that's supposed to be your primary partner. Okay, so you might find yourself getting really jealous. So, if you can try to control your jealousy and get through all of this, things might work, work to your satisfaction. But if you're not ready and prepared for this, then this will not be a relationship that I would suggest that anyone consider doing. Okay? Okay, fewer open relationships are strong enough to handle the kind of storms that come out of relationships that can handle in an open relationship is when things when things could get ugly. Okay, you know what I mean? When things get ugly, it get abusive, and it gets toxic. And need I say more about the things that can come out of an ugly relationship? And this will cause a breakup, or an end to something. And if you're raising little kids, you don't want to have this happen in your home because, division creates a problem. Division creates a problem in the home, and especially when you got kids. Then you most likely will become co-parents, but not all parents want to be co-parents. They want to desert you. So be careful for what you get yourself into when it comes to an open relationship. Okay. All right. All right. So I pinpointed a few areas. Okay. Open relationships may not be the best option for a relationship that's open when someone sometimes does, it involves sexual things or something. This isn't, like I said, you have the primary partner and you with someone else, and your primary partner don't want you to get to or fall in love with this other person that you're trying to have romantic feelings or sexual sexual encounters with, because and I need not say this, but I think you know better when there is no competition, so be safe, from active and protecting yourself at all times is the best way to handle open relationships. By all means, nobody wants to find out that the two of you agreed an open relationship and something happened out there where you got another your kids that's in the home got another sibling that they never met or they never knew about, or unexpected sibling pops up from nowhere. So you know where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying. So let's be careful in the choices that we make and try not to hurt our primary partner in such a way that it's going to cause you to end the relationship for good. Okay? Because if that is the case, if you can't handle these things, that would be an option for you to consider. Don't hurt the kids, because you're not doing something right or you're not getting along together. Don't hurt the kids, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, and fellas, or ladies per se, if you like that, don't look at it as just, you're probably looking at it and go say, oh, it's just a love thing. Well, love things can bring something in your mind to make you think, hey, I'm in love with her. When you can't and you shouldn't forget, you got that partner. You got that primary partner. You got to go back and be truthful to that primary partner to see what, you guys can work out or come up with. When you're getting into a serious open relationships, okay? So you got to be straight up front and honest. Either you can handle it, either you can't. If you can't handle it, then maybe you should find some other structure to communicate with your primary partner so things can work out for you, okay? Okay, sometimes that's a risk. That's a risk of you losing your relationship to your primary lover, or your primary partner. You think it's just about sex. It's not always just about sex, okay? Sometimes people like being around each other because they make a good company for you. Don't have to be always a sexual desire, sexual things, because like I said in one of my other videos, you have different soulmates. If you believe if you believe in God, these are things you pray for. But God put individuals in your life that are soulmates to help you in certain areas. And it's only one true soulmate that he put in your life that you can most definitely identify as totally yours. Okay? Okay, so let's move on to the next point here. So be aware of the choices you might bump into, be aware of the choices that you might bump into, Most open relationships fail because when you are married, it is hard to see or know that your primary partner could be sleeping with somebody else. And we know this is true. You might not want to admit it, but it's true. It's going to be hard and difficult to get past that in a relationship. But if you love them, you're hang in there. If you're trying to work within your marriage, you're hang in there. It may be hard. If you don't see no way for the two of you to be able to communicate on the level of being open, then, talk to each other. See if you can, work it out together or cease the intimacy part or the romantic part of a open relationship outside of your home, So there's ways to work around certain things to bring happiness into one of the partners or both of the partners' life that feel that they're not, fulfilled with the desires of their heart anymore. But let's move on, okay? Because, there are consequences to things that you involve yourself in. There are consequences that could come from having an open outside relationship. Things like such as illnesses can develop if you're not protecting yourself. Illnesses, diseases from unexpected relationships that are open outside of your primary relationship. You understand? So be careful for what you get yourself into. Okay? So be careful what you get yourself into and be safe, be safe. Because I'll tell you this, be aware of the what the experts are saying. Also, things that could occur or happen that your primary partner isn't out there screwing your best friend. So be careful that your primary partner. So this is the point where I said back earlier. Set ground rules and set boundaries. You know, boundaries between the two of you. I don't want to see you screwing my best friend, come home and find you screwing my best friend. That's off limits. Or messing around with, one of my family member or one of my close friends. That's off limits. So guys, this would be a hurting feeling, and women, this would be a hurting feeling if that actually happened to you. So these are the type of things you need to talk about before getting in an open relationship, okay? Because that scars you in the inside, and relationship, marriages doesn't really last a long time when they are involving themselves with your close friend, family members, anybody that's in a close relationship with somebody you're close to. That's not what we would consider a healthy relationship. Okay, so watch the type of what you get yourself involved in, and set boundaries and ground rules before you get out there in an open relationship. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is Word Up, and I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you've learned something today. And if you like my video, give me a thumbs up, and tell somebody else, encourage somebody else, and send them to my video. I'll be glad to help them as well. Have a good one. Peace out.